Pac wasn't worried about death. He was not scared of death. Neither am I. I might go tonight. I might go tomorrow. I might live another 20 years. God don't bless me, but who knows?
This just in tonight, the hip-hop star Shock G has reportedly died.
Let's get straight to it. Shock G didn't die because of fame, drugs, or bad luck. He died because of guilt, a guilt that haunted him for 25 years. A guilt that started the day he tried to save Tupac Shakur and failed.
Was the time I pulled Pac out of the party and I said, yo, they got 2 more hits on you. They already had 2 in Oakland, now they got 2 in LA. 4 people are paid to kill you. Take it easy. Take my key, live in my condo while I'm on.
Before his overdose in that Tampa hotel room, Shock G was carrying a secret so heavy it slowly destroyed him from the inside.
I wanted to throw up afterwards. I can't believe I did that to someone. I can't believe I did that to someone. It was just...
And for the first time, we finally understand what really happened to the man who gave us the Humpty Dance. Mentored Tupac and changed hip-hop forever. Pac wasn't afraid of death. Everyone around him knew that. He'd say it all the time.
Pac told me, he said, you finished? You don't get it, do you? I don't give a and walked away. And before he got out of sight, he looked back one last time.
I might go tonight, I might go tomorrow, I might live another 20 years. God don't bless me, but who knows? But Shock G, he was terrified for him. He was the one who once pulled Pac aside at a party and said, yo, they got 2 more hits on you. They already had 2 in Oakland. Now they got 2 in LA. 4 people are paid to kill you. Take it easy. Take my key. Stay at my condo while I'm on tour. And you know what Pac said? You finished? You don't get it, do you? I don't give a Then he walked away, turned back one last time, and flashed that look. Shock G never forgot that look. He never forgave himself for it either. That conversation became his ghost. When Pac died in 1996, Shock G blamed himself. He believed he could have done more, said more, maybe even stopped it.
Yeah, you know, once again, it's the Underground Mix coming at you. My name is Shock G.
And I'm too Pac.
Yeah, okay? Now see, D-Flow continues. D-Flow ain't stopped with no sons of...
And that guilt, that single burning thought, followed him everywhere he went.
Pac was a thinker like that. He was always plotting. If I die this way, put this out. If I die this way, I want you to put this out. He was thinking and he wanted to cover all those bases.
The world remembers him as the wild, funny guy with the fake nose and the funky groove.
Friends, family, and fans gathered at a Tampa church today to remember rapper and producer Gregory Shock G Jacobs. Services were held this afternoon at the Allen Temple AME Church. They were also streamed online. Shock G was the leader of the hip-hop group Digital.
But behind the smile, Gregory Edward Jacobs was drowning. Born in 1963 in Brooklyn, New York, to Shirley Kraft and Edward Racker, Gregory grew up in a comfortable middle-class family.
I got divorced when I was about 11 years old, and from 11 through 13, I lived back in New York again. Down here, we was in the P-Funk back then, but when I got to New York, breakdancing had started, you know, graffiti. When I first came back to Tampa from New York, there was no hip-hop scene here. We used to play Love Is the Message, and me and Ronnie Ron used to laugh like, you play Love Is the Message, niggas run off the floor like rats when you turn the light. Study music, so I started taking music theory and studying some piano under Patricia Trice at HC.
His dad worked in computer management. His mom produced television. They gave him stability, culture, and love, but not roots. The family moved constantly across the East Coast. Brooklyn, Queens, Tampa, back to New York again. Every move, every change, Gregory had one constant: music. He fell in love with rhythm early, banging on drums at school and winning talent trophies before most kids could keep a beat. At 12, his parents divorced. That's when his life split too. One part genius, one part lost boy searching for direction. Back in Queens, hip-hop was being born right in front of him. Block parties, park jams, people rhyming over break beats. Gregory was obsessed. He bought turntables, started DJing, learned from his cousin DJ Stretch, and started building his identity as Shock G. By 16, he'd already dropped out of high school and formed a DJ crew called the Master Blasters. They were local legends in Tampa, rocking block parties every weekend. He even got a radio job, the youngest DJ on WTMP, Central Florida's biggest R&B station.
No, for real, it's like, I don't know.
But he got fired after playing Funkadelic's 15-minute version of Not Just Knee Deep in a 5-minute time slot. That was Gregory. Brilliant, unpredictable, defiant, always following the groove, never the rules. After clashing with his father, he hit the road, did odd jobs, slept on couches, played keyboards. Wherever he could sneak into a music store or college rehearsal room, he was hustling, drifting, but learning. Every stop sharpened him. Every struggle built his sound. Eventually, he made his way to Oakland. That's where everything changed. In 1987, he met a drummer named Jimmy Dwight who had studio equipment but didn't know how to use it. Shock G taught him how to record in exchange for time on the machines. That same night, they made Underwater Rhymes and Your Life's a Cartoon. Digital Underground was born. A couple years later, they dropped Da What You Like on Tommy Boy Records. Then came the Humpty Dance, #1 on the rap charts, #11 on pop. Shock G's alter ego, Humpty Hump, took over pop culture. The fake glasses, the nose, the humor, it was all performance art. But what the world didn't see was the toll it took on him. He was living inside two people. Shock G, the musical genius, deep, spiritual, thoughtful. And Humpty Hump the clown, the character the world demanded every time he hit a stage. That split, the pressure to be both, started tearing him apart. And that's when drugs slipped in. At first it was curiosity, then it was comfort, then it became survival. He once told friends, I study drugs the same way I study music, to understand the patterns. But the problem is, drugs don't care about patterns. They just take.
Waiting for Shock G to show up for the session, and we get the calls like, Shock's not gonna make it, he's in jail. Like, he got.
Then came Tupac, a 19-year-old fireball with poetry, rage, and purpose. When Pac joined Digital Underground in 1990, Shock G saw himself in him. The same spark, the same hunger. He became Pac's mentor, his brother, his safe space in an industry built on chaos. They laughed together, made music together, toured the world. Shock G helped produce Pac's first breakout track, Same Song, and later I Get Around. They were family. So when Shock G warned him that night, they got 2 more hits on you, it wasn't paranoia, it was love, but Pac wasn't built to back down. He brushed it off. And that conversation became the scar that never healed. After Pac's death, Shock G changed. The spark dimmed, he became quieter, moodier, lost in reflection. Friends said he'd stare at nothing for minutes at a time, then suddenly start crying. He blamed himself, convinced that if he'd done more, said more, Pac might still be alive. That guilt fed the addiction, and the addiction fed the guilt. It was a cycle he couldn't break. By the late 1990s, the industry had moved on. Hip-hop was harder, flashier, commercialized. The funky, playful style of Digital Underground was out. Shock G went from being the architect of a movement to being forgotten by the machine he helped build. He tried to adapt, producing, mentoring, experimenting, but nothing hit like before. Money got tight, and so did the drugs. Method, alcohol, fentanyl. They became his escape when the memories got too loud. Friends tried to help. He went to rehab, cleaned up, started eating better. He'd go sober for months, then vanish. Disappear for weeks, come back thin and quiet, mumbling about the industry, about God, about Pac. He once said, "The world celebrates us when we're loud, but forgets us when we're hurting." That line now feels like a warning. By early 2021, Shock G's health was failing. His friends in Tampa saw him unraveling. Erratic behavior, violent outbursts, nights lost in binge drinking and meth use. He was arrested a few times, hospitalized. Everyone could see where it was heading, but no one could stop it. And then came April 22nd, 2021, room 348 at a hotel in Tampa. When he missed checkout, hotel staff went in. They found him lying on the bed, motionless. Fentanyl, methamphetamine, alcohol, The coroner called it an accidental overdose. No note, no message, just silence. But later, when his close friends went through his recordings, they found something. A series of voice notes, reflections he'd recorded in the months before his death, and in one of them, he said something that made everyone stop cold. They call it the music business, he said, but the music died the day business came first. That line wasn't a lyric, it was a confession. For Shock G, music was never about money or fame. It was about healing, about connection, about truth, and he couldn't stand watching an industry built on soul turn into a machine that profits off struggle. He was tired, not of living, but of pretending that everything was okay when it wasn't. In another recording, you can hear him laugh. It's faint, broken, but peaceful. And then he says, "They told me I could have everything, but all I ever wanted was peace." That's when you realize this wasn't just goodbye, this was freedom. Shock G wasn't giving up, he was letting go. When news of his death broke, the world was stunned. Tributes poured in from every corner of hip-hop. Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Questlove, everyone. But those who really knew him weren't shocked. They said he'd been preparing for this for years, not because he wanted to die, but because he wanted to be understood before he did. He wanted people to know the price of being Shock G, the weight of being brilliant in a world that only values the brand, not the man. His final message wasn't about death, it was about life, about choosing peace over profit, purpose over performance, soul over success. "If your art doesn't free you, it owns you," he said once. And that's exactly what happened to him. His art stopped being freedom and became a cage. He fought to escape it until his final breath. So what does his story really tell us? It tells us how fragile genius can be in a world that sells it for parts. It tells us that even legends break when the applause fades. And it tells us that behind every smile, every beat, every laugh, there might be someone screaming on the inside. We love the art, but too often we destroy the artist. Shock G didn't want to be remembered as a clown or a legend. He wanted to be remembered as Gregory Jacobs, the boy from Brooklyn who loved rhythm, who wanted to make people dance, who tried to save a friend and never forgave himself for failing. In one of his handwritten notes, he wrote, "They called me Shock G, but my mama called me Gregory. Gregory just wanted to play." And maybe that's the saddest truth of all, that the man who gave us joy spent the rest of his life trying to find his own. The silence after his death said everything. No more beats, no more jokes, no more masks, just peace. And maybe that's what he was chasing all along. And because when you strip away the fame and the headlines, the story of Shock G isn't about drugs or downfall. It's about love. It's about pain. It's about a man who gave the world rhythm but couldn't find his own heartbeat. Shock G once said, "Music is supposed to lift you up, not tear you down." Maybe his death is a reminder of how far the industry has drifted from that. But his legacy, that funky, funny, soulful genius, still lives in every artist brave enough to be different, to be real, to tell the truth, even when it hurts. Because that's what he did. That's what he died doing. And so, yeah, the truth hurts, but it also heals. And now, after all these years, we finally understand the tragic truth about Shock G. He didn't overdose on drugs. He overdosed on guilt, grief, and a lifetime of unspoken pain. And in his final moments, when the noise finally stopped, maybe he finally found what he'd been chasing all along: peace. This is Buzz and Drama, where we don't just talk about the stars, we talk about the truth behind them. If this story moved, you hit that like button, subscribe it, and tell us in the comments --. What do you think really haunted Shock G the most? Was it the loss of Tupac, the industry, or the pressure of being two people at once? Whatever your answer, remember this: the music stopped, but his message will never fade. See you on the next one.